Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Night Shift podcast, a show fueled by caffeine and the abuse of dubious substances. I'm your host, Bram, better known as Zaniverse, or the guy who did that one funny LEGO video. I'm joined by a bunch of co-hosts, one of them being everyone's favorite Christian anime character, Kinda Jesus, aka Bruno.
Oh thank God I'm first. I was fucking wheezing my ass off with that intro.
Next up, we got the only dude that's legally allowed to say the N-word, the milkman himself, Cameron.
I'm gonna do it a lot here.
Our penultimate host for tonight is a bit of a mystery man, on account of nobody knowing anything about him, Media Mana.
You know, I have to say, that's probably one of the nicest things anybody's ever said about me, so...
And lastly, we've got Lance, who only goes by Lance online and is basically just a guy.
Yeah, I'm here. What? I mean, my intro was, who is basically just a guy. What do you want me to say?
What do you do? What are you doing here,
Nothing.
Lance? That's a good question.
I think
I don't content create. I'm just here. I'm friends with everyone.
That's the
Imagine
problem.
your job being friend.
friend of Zaniverse. That's a shitty joke.
Look, it
title,
works.
bro.
It works.
that
It
in your,
works. It works.
I
Twitter
think that
bio.
should be your intro from now on.
It was
Friend
just
of
a friend.
Zaniverse.
Yeah, friend of Zaniverse. Jesus fuck.
Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about what? Come on, let's wrap this up.
What?
Good transition,
We
guys.
transition
Good
into
transition. Magnificent
Wait,
transition. Okay.
wait, no, hold
games.
on. Oh, okay.
We're
Homie doesn't
transitioning
even
into
have the
indie
Google
games.
Doc open, yo.
Yeah. Of course, we're professionals. We need to read through the Google
Wait,
Doc.
Overwatch 2 isn't an indie game.
No
Okay,
shit.
Lance. Okay, Lance.
Why are we transitioning into indie games?
We're not
Why-
okay. Well, you just spoiled the fun. Hey, yeah. Well, we were talking about indie games. Woo! Yeah. Can you all tell that this is our first time recording this?
It shouldn't be this much of a chaotic fuckfest, but I guess, you know.
I love chaotic.
I'm the only one with any podcast experience, so, you know.
Fuck
I have to
you.
kind of,
What do you
I kind of have to
mean?
manage these raggedy clowns.
Excuse me? I have been in more failure of podcasts than you have. I'm 2
I've
for 1
actually-
on failure podcasts. I'll
I've
let you
actually
know
watched
that.
my first podcast ever like 2 days ago.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
I'll let you know that I'm professionally unprofessional, alright?
Thank you, man. I assume you're going to be the professional of the group.
Yeah.
But you're
you need-
pretty good at talking into a mic for a
Sounds
long period of
professional.
time, so, you know.
Yeah, I can do that.
I think we can all do that. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So indie games. Why are we talking about that? I think it's actually very simple. I think everyone is kind of reaching into a point where we kind of expect way less from AAA games as we do for indie games, because every time we kind of play an indie game, we're enjoying that in-game way more than your normal AAA game. Your Overwatches, your Call of Duties, your Gotham Knights, just to name a few examples. And I think we should start kind of like with why is that? Why do you guys think is that? So just throwing it out there. Maybe we'll start with Milkman. I know he has a lot to say.
Yeah, I got a whole lot to say.
So let's start with you. Let's transition like this. Why do you think that when you pick up a game like, let's say Gloomwood, since we mentioned it before the podcast started, why do you think you're thriving to play that game way more than you are on, I don't know, Overwatch 2?
So number one, I feel like Overwatch 2 is probably the worst thing you could have said to me, because I used to be an Overwatch like only fucking player back when Overwatch 1 came out.
Same.
I
have like 1,000+ hours of Overwatch easily too.
Yeah, I
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
hate Overwatch. I lost a friend over Overwatch because I literally said Overwatch 2 is shit, and then he fucking blocked me. But you know, that's just
Wow, what a friend.
Oh, Reddit moment, bro.
That
Reddit.
sounds like the
Out of all the
average
things to get blocked
Overwatch
Overwatch
player.
player, yeah. Average Overwatch player. Uncle.
But the reason why I prefer indie games over AAA releases is because a big amount of care is put into an indie release, right? There's a lot more at stake for a solo creator than there is for an entire company, right? So at the end of the day, they want to make sure what they're putting out is something that they can put behind themselves like, yes, I made this. This is something I created. I stand behind this. I put a lot of fucking effort. So taking the beginning of Gloomwood, right? You get into the game, it's really straightforward, no bugs, it's working as it should, it's engaging, it's quality versus let's say like I was saying before, like fucking Modern Warfare 2. Modern Warfare 2 came out 2 days ago. I have restarted this campaign 3 different times because the game keeps fucking breaking. And I feel like the game keeps breaking because they don't give a fuck about how it works. They just want the money.
They don't.
I'm curious, so you
Multiplayer has
wanna-
always been the big money maker to CODs though.
I'm gonna let you guys know I'm opening my Japanese whiskey during this podcast just because this topic is so cool.
Or
Yeah.
maybe
Oh,
it's
that's
because
good.
you're an alcoholic. But-
And because I'm an alcoholic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm Portuguese.
And
half of us
largely
are
because I'm an
alcoholics.
alcoholic. Largely because he's an alcoholic.
In relation to what you said, I disagree quite a lot. I don't think the problem lies on the amount of content that you have, or even the quality of the content. Because on paper, the graphics quality of Modern Warfare 2 is much bigger. The story definitely looks like it has a way bigger budget than Gloomwood, and most of all, again on paper, you have way more content kind of cramped into these AAA releases than you do in a game like Gloomwood. Yes, Gloomwood is in early access, it's going to get way more content, but even if it was a full product, Modern Warfare 2 would still theoretically have way more content than Gloomwood. I think the biggest difference between Gloomwood and Modern Warfare 2 actually comes on how these developers treat their content. When you buy Gloomwood, you spend $20. I think right now it's 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, discounted.
Yeah. You get the game, and that's it. There's the game. Fucking play it. Have fun. Fucking jerk off to the sock you have on your left, and you're done with it. You feel like those $16 you spent really fucking mattered. And the reason why I brought Overwatch 2 is because of what everyone is talking about Overwatch 2, which is its monetization. When you, even if Overwatch 2 was Overwatch 1 but released like this, you bought the game $40, $50. Modern Warfare 2, you buy the game $40, $50. Literally on the very next week, you already have a store filled with weapon blueprints and fucking skins left and right, and every single other little tiny crook is starting to bend more and more and more, because with Gloomwood, you play the game, you're done, you move on to the next one, you really enjoyed yourself, it's going to be something, it's going to be stuck on your memory. And with Overwatch and Modern Warfare 2, you're going to play the game and you're going to have those almost like ads to the game itself being like, oh, you just went out of a match, look at that guy has a very cool skin, chimp out $15 please. I think that's the main issue behind almost every AAA release. What do you
So
think,
you're
Mana?
saying... Oh, sorry.
What do you think, Mana? You're awfully quiet there.
Well, a lot of this is multifaceted, because you have when it pertains to the industry, right? So you have Xbox and Sony kind of acquiring everything. Everything is kind of, when it pertains to the AAA space, everything is kind of being encompassed or swallowed up in the umbrella of Xbox or PlayStation. So what is happening is you have basically two. Well, let's focus on Microsoft on Xbox. We've seen time and time again with their releases, especially even with their first party release games like Scorn, like Crackdown 3. Like, you have a lot of these projects that are just getting repeatedly delayed and delayed and delayed and being stuck in development hell, and then they get released and they're often either buggy on release, incomplete, straight up features that are missing from games. Particularly when it pertains to that subject, focusing on Halo Infinite. Hey, foundationally the game is good, the game is great. The game is great, but there's a lot of features from older games that have been kind of staple features in the franchise for a while that just aren't there. So what is happening in terms of the AAA field is you're having a lot of these developers in these what used to be very prominent, very respected studios basically break off and decide, you know what, I'm gonna go do my own thing. I'm gonna go start some indie project over here, and we're gonna build it. We're gonna make the games that we want to make. We're not gonna be constricted to whatever strict specific lane, Microsoft and whatever subsidiary company that they're working for. Uh, you know, they're gonna go off and do their own projects, right? And so I think a lot of that is, and I've hammered this home quite a bit. We are either going to see the rise or the downfall of the indie game, and it seems like right now it's trending in the upwards trajectory of indie games.
I think you're looking at this in the wrong direction, because when it comes to acquisitions from big companies like Microsoft and Sony, I think this is actually very beneficiary to the company, especially the indie companies associated with it. Of course, if fucking Microsoft acquires Bethesda, they're not going to starve to death, right? But when it comes to making indie games, games like Scorn, for example, it was made by a small indie company. Nobody knows if Microsoft didn't pick them up, if they were even able to release anything to begin with. And I think, Microsoft fucked up hardcore on Halo Infinite and Crackdown 3, more like I'm on Crack 3. But
Yeah.
Successes like Scorn kind of speak for themselves here, I'd say, because Scorn,
you can definitely say that Scorn was successful, but it was also one of the most polarizing games, I feel like, from what I saw. Everyone was kind of expecting us to be this kind of Doom like first person shooter thing, but it was more of funny puzzle game with cock and balls and shit like that,
funny puzzle game. I wouldn't describe
funny.
it.
It was atmospheric.
Very atmospheric, very cool art style and shit. It would look really cool. I bought it day one. I haven't played it. Yeah, I haven't played it, but it looks really nice.
Yeah, but I think from the very beginning of the game, I remember I saw PewDiePie play this quite a long ass time ago, and from what I've seen from that gameplay, it kind of looked like it's been set like that from the very beginning. So I don't think Microsoft really had an input on that.
No, not at all. He was
and
teasing this from 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, they were bought. They probably did get a bigger budget to flesh more stuff out. Probably.
Yeah,
so that's good at least.
What about you, Lance? What do you think? Why do you think indie games feel better to play right now as opposed to AAA games?
My personal opinion is that AAA games are surrounded with too much corporate bullshit, man. They have to push agendas, and they have to have their profit margins. So you take an indie company who's doing it, who might be doing it. They have a job, they have a stable job. They're just doing it for fun in their free time, and it takes them 10 years to come out. The indie games are trying to or AAA games, I'm sorry, are trying to just push it, and it doesn't feel as genuine, right?
Because
a lot of new releases.
It isn't.
Every
it isn't.
new release. It isn't. Every new release, I feel like, from AAA studios are just they're just trying to push their agendas. They're not really trying to make a good game that people can enjoy.
Yeah, they're just trying to suck their own dick.
Yeah, pretty much. They're not trying to make the established community feel happy and enjoy the new game that they put out for their series or their new standalone. That's just money. It's no longer having people have fun with games.
Okay, a follow-up question then, and we can start again with you, Lance. Do you have any AAA company that you don't feel works like that? Doesn't have that I'm sucking my own dick vibe, we're just trying to do this for the sake of getting as much money as possible. Do you think there's a AAA company, as we speak, operating like this?
I cannot think of one off the top of my head, honestly.
What about you, Zanny?
I do. I have one.
I mean, I think probably. I mean, New Blood Games would be one.
But
They're the
They're
guys
not
behind
AAA though.
They're
New
not
Blood
AAA.
is
They're not
full
Oh,
indie.
true. Then I'd say the closest we probably have is IO Interactive. Guys behind the Hitman games.
Yeah, they're kind of double A there. They belong to the Square Enix umbrella here. But I would say you're probably right. What about you,
Do they?
Milkman?
They're not by Square Enix anymore.
They
So
are. Let me double check while
I would say
you
there's
talk.
two.
think
Id
they're-
Interactive and FromSoft.
Oh, FromSoft.
Oh,
yeah.
also RGG Studios.
Yeah, they're privately held. They were dropped by Square Enix for like 5 years ago, some shit, bro.
Yeah, fuck Square Enix. They suck anyway.
Yeah, true.
Make shitty games.
Oh God.
I'm gonna be honest.
Mhm.
Final
No.
Fantasy fucking sucks.
Square Enix is still their parent company.
They're parts. No, they're privately held.
Yeah. They're privately owned. Yeah, you're right. I was checking the wiki here. Yeah. You're right.
2017, they dropped them
Yeah.
because Hitman. Because they told IO to release Hitman 1 in parts, like in episodes, like every 2 months they drop like one new map. And IO was like, no, this is a terrible idea. And Square was like, no, we know what's best for the company, guys. So IO did it, and then it sold like shit. And then Square was like, now we're mad. And then they dropped them. It's like, fuck you, you dumbasses.
But right there,
Yeah, dude,
that
fuck
I think that's exactly the point I was
It's
going to try.
corporation.
Yeah, it's the
It's
point I was trying to
corporation.
bring. When it comes to, and I saw this on a Mandalore video, he said that no game developer is lazy, right? There's no game developer that can be lazy because the amount of work it takes to do any video game whatsoever is just huge, like enormous. Making a small indie game takes literally hundreds and hundreds of hours. Making a big budget AAA game takes way longer too.
Thousands, easily.
Yeah. Thousands indeed, and from multiple people, possibly across the world. So I think that even people that fucking develop FIFA, right? There has to be passionate game developers in the middle of all the bullshit they have to endure.
There's 100% passionate people. They just end up with a shitty fucking hand.
Yeah, exactly. And at this point, who can we blame? Because it's very clearly
Suits.
works. Because we can all fucking put our Twitter hats and go onto Twitter and complain about Kiriko's skin on Overwatch costing $26 fucking dollars when you can buy
Real.
Gloomwood. But the reality is, I've played Overwatch 2 yesterday. I've seen Kiriko skins. Those same people that are complaining about it are literally fucking eating that skin up like there's no tomorrow.
I haven't seen it.
Don't see it. It's, oh my god, it's such, holy shit. I swear, I thought I popped the fucking vein when I saw this. I went into the store because they said, oh, we have cool free shit. They dingle the little carrots in front of you. Oh, look at this cool Reaper skin, Ah, yes, look at that. Beautiful. Watch 4 hours of Twitch.
The really predatory thing about all this is they use the whole free to play model as an excuse to be like, oh well, you see, you're putting all these hours into a game that's free to access. You can play it any time. So really, it's really not that unethical to charge fucking $20-$30 for a fucking
True.
But
skin.
it is, though.
That's their excuse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
is.
it is.
Especially if there's no way
that'll be
to
their
unlock it anymore
rationalization. Yeah.
through like progression.
It's
Yeah.
just, and maybe this is just my personal bias, but it's like, I've rarely seen free to play games pull off that model well. I think the most notable one, at least like for a good amount of its life cycle, was Warframe.
I thought you were gonna say Warframe.
Yeah. I don't know. Recently, they might have fucked with things recently. I don't know, but at least whenever I was still for a good chunk of the game's life cycle, whenever I was playing it, I mean the free to play model for Warframe back then was pretty solid. But
I might be starting a fucking war. We shouldn't right at the beginning of the podcast, but I'm gonna do it. I completely disagree with you. Keep in mind, I have like 10, 15 hours, so I might not fully grasp the Warframe mentality or the Warframe grind set style here. But correct me if I'm wrong here.
The Warframe grind set.
But it is true
Warframe
because
grind set.
No, it is. It is a grind
He's-
set. It's like fucking
he's
Destiny.
just-
Yeah, it's one of those games you have to
So sad.
live, you know?
Yeah,
it's one of
yeah.
those games you have to play 24/7.
So
Because you're otherwise like you're fucked.
yeah, and that's the point I was going to try to make. But let me actually extend this point. So again, correct me if I'm wrong. On Warframe, you can pay what, like $15, $10, I don't remember properly, for a Warframe, and you just get it and you play it, right? Correct.
Mhm.
I'm trying to. I don't. Well, see, like I mean, back in the day, I mean, like you could play the game and get a lot of the stuff. You know, a lot of the stuff that's available in the storefront. I mean, a lot of the Warframes and a lot of the.
Yeah,
But I mean, it was accessible back then. I don't. You know, granted, I haven't played Warframe.
yeah,
in,
but
I mean,
but
years,
if
but-
you don't want to chimp out the $10, $15, what you had to do is you had to go and grind for the specific parts to create that Warframe, right? But the
Yes.
thing is,
Yes, yeah.
from my personal experience, again, only 15 hours, somewhere like that, that grind set is not easy. You need to grind the same levels over and over again until that very specific item drops.
I mean,
Right,
it's
yeah.
like it's a dungeon crawler, right? Or like not like
Yeah,
a
it's-
dungeon crawler, but like like it's like a looter shooter dungeon crawler kind of
Yeah.
thing.
It's
Yeah,
like a looter
exactly.
shooter
But that's-
dungeon crawler type.
Yeah, I
gameplay
mean that's
loop, yeah.
expected. It's like Diablo or like Borderlands, you know. You just fucking
Yeah,
run the same
but with
fucking shit
Diablo
over and over.
Borderlands, if you want to play fucking Berserk, you pick the class Berserk. I think people are more understanding of Warframe's microtransaction store because they love the game so much they don't mind supporting it because what's in there feels like it's still made with love. But I think people kind of confuse love with what you should accept because the alternative to spending $10 to $15 is 30 to 50 hours of gameplay that you need to have to grind that very specific item you need to craft that very specific part of the Warframe. And that then translates into you also having to grind the fuck out of the game to level up your Warframe to a acceptable level, whatever level you need your Warframe to be.
30.
Right? So
That shit takes a minute too.
Mm.
at least with Overwatch, right? Whether you have a skin or not, it's literally not going to influence your gameplay. Your
Didn't
Reinhardt's
they-
having a $50 skin, which
Haven't they locked a bunch of like characters behind like a paywall? Kind of like they
Yes.
do with like Rainbow Six operators.
not exactly. Oh my god, that's so frustrating.
Then,
I hate
I
that.
saw they removed Bastion from the game because his ult
Yeah, he
was
was
broken.
broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, his
Fucking
ult
broken.
was broken apparently. So
Um,
instead of punching him, they were like, "Nah, just delete him."
No, he's back on the game. So
I know he's probably coming back, or he will be back.
Lance can speak better of this because he started playing Overwatch 2 with us. But if I'm not mistaken, you start your game off with a very limited amount of heroes. I think it's like 5-6 heroes, and throughout your quick play games, you can get those heroes left and right. Basically, like you finish a game, you get Sombra. You finish your game, you get fucking Roadhog, and then you
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah.
I start off. I don't remember how many heroes I started off. Like I've never played Overwatch 1, so it was just Overwatch 2 I started. And just as I was playing, I unlocked stuff. I don't even know how I unlocked stuff. They just started giving me heroes the more I played.
Yeah, it's
it
through
wasn't
quick
really
play
like
for sure.
it
One is
wasn't
kinda
a paywall
crazy,
or
though.
anything.
Yeah, but the problem with that is
Yeah, I never cared.
the entire core mechanic of Overwatch always was this kind of like almost chess game where pieces kind of counterattack other pieces, right? So
Yeah.
unlocking the heroes like that feels absolute bullshit, especially when you're slapped in the face. Because if my friend over here bought the PP Point Gibraltar or whatever the fuck that $40 DLC was for the game, you completely skipped the grind.
DLC in quotes.
Yeah, I think it was Watchpoint Gibraltar version of the game or something like that.
Literally a fucking character pack, to
Yeah.
be honest.
You need to win 50 quick play games in order to start competitive, right? And
Br-
their
bruh.
excuse was,
You have to win?
Yeah,
Win?
win.
Wow.
Win.
Quick
That
play
is
is
fucking
like
insane.
quick play is like the most fucking boom
Brain dead.
Yeah,
Mhm.
brain dead clusterfuck of absolute mongoloids. And
Yep.
it's like 150. Okay, bro. I'll be 50 hours deep at that point. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
You have to win 50 games in order to start.
It's not
fucking-
even like level up or some shit. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that is
no,
actual
you have
dog
to,
shit.
yeah, win 50 games to unlock.
That is
them.
dog shit, bro. Welcome to
it's
Overwatch
annoying.
2. I hope you brought 2 of your friends to carry you, bro.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
basically that's what we've been doing. But
Yeah,
no joke.
that's
God.
literally what we've been doing.
But you can skip all that. If you chimp out,
Give us $40,
40
bro.
bucks, that's
Give us some
nothing
$40.
special.
Come on.
know.
It's only $40.
It's absolute insanity. Everyone hates this, and
You don't want to give us the money of a AA game?
What's-
Unlucky.
what really sucks is that behind all that corporate bullshit is a really fun game. Even Lance, who never played Overwatch 1 and never really got into that community, I think I'm not putting words in your mouth. You've been having fun, I assume.
Yeah, I have been having fun. It's been an experience. Yeah, the gameplay
Experience.
learning curve is.
You've spoken like a
Yeah.
true fucking Karen, dude. It's been an experience,
Yeah.
This is a game that you'll enjoy if you like playing games.
Pretty much. I mean, I haven't had.
It's
many
got a
complaints.
little something for everyone. Thanks, IGN. You fucking corporate.
Keep going, Lance.
Keep going. Oh, what is there to say? It's
I can't follow up
I
that
mean,
line.
yeah, the learning curve isn't horrible. It's everything kind of makes sense, right? The alt system's easy to understand. It's not really hard to learn. I don't understand why comp is locked behind 50 games though. Wins.
Their biggest excuse was to prevent cheaters. Then why the fuck have you got them given the $40 watch point dicks to completely bypass that?
I like how they went. It's to bypass cheaters. You know what's another really good way to bypass cheaters? Make the game not free to play, so people actually have to spend money to get banned in it.
This is true.
That's very
Literally,
true,
so they made CS free to play, and it's become like
It's
so
fucked
much
it.
more riddled with cheaters. And same with Warzone. That's why people just keep getting like hackers in Warzone and shit like that because it's free to play.
Yeah,
You can
because
just
people are
make a
just
new account.
smurfing out of their rank.
Yeah, you can just make a new account and like get back to cheating. Like it doesn't fucking matter. They're so dumb.
But,
Man, when they made CS:GO free to play, that killed it for me. I was just like, man, I'm like
Yeah.
I used to hit up CS:GO like comp a little bit, and like it just got to the point where people were just, you'd have like fucking GMs and shit just like smurfing out of their accounts and just fucking
Yeah.
destroying matches, and you're like, well, fuck this, like.
okay.
This is not fun. Yeah.
But a very important question. Was it the free-to-play, or was that just the tip that you needed? Like the it's been accumulating and now I'm just done. Like, was it just that free-to-play, or just a collection of small stuff that CSGO has been doing throughout the years that have kind of just robbed you the wrong way, that led into you like being just done with the game?
Well, the issue is when you make a game like CS:GO free to play, the problem is, I mean, you could always still make alt accounts drop. I think, what was it, like $40 at the time, back in the day, to buy CS:GO. You could still theoretically make alt accounts and buy accounts and shit like that.
Yeah, because CSGO was super cheap.
But the entry barrier for smurfing was significantly higher, and now that it has basically become a free-to-play game, literally anybody can make alt accounts now and just smurf. And
I think CSGO always suffered from a Smurf wave, regardless.
It definitely did, but it's definitely gotten much worse now. Same with like the
yeah,
hackers.
the problem is
There's always been
significantly
hackers,
higher.
but yeah, it's just a lot more rampant now because it is free.
Yeah, that.
I'll note it. A game that has a huge smurfing problem is Valorant. You know why? Because I do it.
I'm part of the issue.
This
literally.
man
Hell
is
of a self-report.
this man just goes in front of a jury. Yeah, I killed that guy. Yeah.
No, I did it. That was me.
Yeah, it was me. It was me.
I mean,
So-
shit. I get bored enough. I'll just hop on a fucking.
They'll be like, we
silver
got some
account.
footage. No, that was me. That was me. I haven't even started playing the
Okay,
footage. No, it was
somebody's
me.
not take credit for this.
Yeah, that crack over there.
Someone's gonna
It's mine, officer. It's mine. It's mine. It's
Yeah, I also got this knife in my boot.
Like, what are you gonna do? Put me in jail? I already admitted. It's not like I was lying to you.
You can't punish me, officer. Come on. It's I
Come
admitted it.
on,
You know?
I was
It's my
honest with
birthday,
you.
dude.
But,
Can't put me in jail for this triple homicide, bro. It was my birthday. Unlucky.
Give me one freebie.
Hey, listen, officer. I gotta get out of free jail card from Monopoly here. This
Just
is
pulls it
smart.
out. Pulls it out.
You know what? I will give you one kiss if you let me off.
One little tap in the cheek there. But I definitely agree with you that Smurfing has gotten worse, but not as much as people think. For example, when it comes to Overwatch 2, now they're creating this idea that you need a goddamn phone number to be associated with your account if you want to play competitive.
Yeah, what the fuck is that? And you can't have it be a prepaid. I saw that.
Yeah,
So, like,
that
Americans
part's
are
bullshit.
fucked.
That part is some grade A bullshit right there. But
Bruh. Blizzard.
You see, they'll get so on people about cheating, but will not get on their staff for sexually assaulting women.
Ooh, oh my god, we can't. It's one,
Did they
one
get
of the-
another law with them recently?
Yeah, they got another lawsuit. Daddy Blizzard be accumulating lawsuits. Like
Yeah,
we
they found another
accumulate
woman to like
Pokemon
harass.
cards.
I'm surprised there's still women left in the office at this point. With the amount
For
of ones
real?
they've left.
There's still women left in the office?
Yeah, it's insane.
No fucking way, right?
How is like
What?
the police
what?
not come through and be like, okay, we're just gonna move all your women to a different department because this is fucked.
I think this also plays a very big part on why everyone is embracing indie games a hell of a lot more. There's not a single AAA company that hasn't faced A, sexual allegation lawsuit, B, crunch, C, lied to our faces, hello Ubisoft, casually dropping your name here, or D, all of the above, hello Ubisoft again.
Or E, having a piece of shit game.
Which all of them kind of share. Name me one AAA company that hasn't released a shit game of the major AAA
Ubisoft.
Hasn't?
Oh,
Uh,
fuck. I gotta
closest
get over
I
that.
can-
Ubisoft.
Closest I can think is IO Interactive. Their base games are always really good. The only thing you need to actually get good at is like their DLCs. Actually make them fucking decent. Because like the DLC for Hitman 3 is dog shit, bro. It's
Kanan
fucking
Lynch,
garbage.
2 Dog Days.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Fuck not.
we don't talk about that one, bro. That's
So
like a
they
decade
re-
ago.
they
That's like a
still
decade
release-
ago.
But they still released shit game. Okay,
That's a
okay,
decade
okay,
ago.
okay.
That's a
From-
decade ago.
We don't count a
It doesn't
decade
matter.
ago. Okay.
That's a decade ago, bro. Yeah, you know what's funny? It's been a decade since Ubisoft has released a good game.
It really has. I haven't had
Watch
fun
Dogs
in
3 fucking sucked.
Watch Dogs 2 fucking sucked.
No, okay. No, I will defend Watch Dogs 2 a little bit because
I will also defend
comparatively
it.
to 1 and 3, it is the fucking pinnacle.
I
But
will
holy
also defend
shit,
it.
Watch
Yeah.
Dogs 3 is the most boring slog of a game I played in such a long time.
I played like an hour of it, bro. It was dog shit, bro. I got it for free. With
I
my
played,
use
guy.
I
the
played like
Ubisoft
an
Plus.
hour of it, gave up because it was running so shit. Like,
Yeah, it ran super poorly as well. It
I
was
had
so
a,
bad on
a
like every level.
I had a 2060 Super,
Hmm.
and I couldn't even run the game on minimum while I was streaming.
Oh my
Y'all
God.
want
Dude,
to
the
know
game
a
looks like a
bad fucking
PowerPoint
game?
presentation. Yeah,
Whoa,
do
whoa,
tell
whoa.
me.
my god.
You guys
You wanna
want
know
a
a bad
working game and also a stable one, bruh?
You fucking Dying Light 2. The
Mm.
biggest fucking disappointment I have played in a while.
Really?
Really?
Wow, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard a
okay.
lot of really negative things about Dying Light 2.
Yeah,
That
I heard a lot
game-
of negative things about it as well. I never really got into the
Mhm.
first game, but I really
How?
enjoyed the second one. I
How
never
did you
really
not get
enjoyed the
into it?
first game. I don't know. I played like 4 hours and I was like, man, this is boring. And I played the second one and I was like, yeah, this is great. And then I went on the internet to share my opinion and everyone was like, no, you stupid fuck.
Yeah,
Okay,
because you're
here's a
wrong. This is not
compromise.
true.
Here's a compromise
This
between the
is
two sides.
incorrect. Unlucky. Opinion incorrect.
We can both agree the story of Dying Light 2 is absolute dog shit.
I didn't even finish the game. I'm gonna be completely honest.
I
with
thought
you.
it was-
I stopped playing
it
once
was-
I got to the city,
It was okay, I thought. It was fine.
But,
and it
but
ran like shit.
Did it?
Did
for
it?
me. I
Sounds
had
like
a
a you problem.
1070.
Yeah,
I
that's
had-
the
I had a
problem with
fucking
computers.
1070.
Granted, my
honestly.
PC blue screened the first time I played it, so you know.
Wow.
I remember that. I was in a call with fucking Cajun. They just blue screened
Oh
immediately.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
5 minutes in, bro. 5 minutes in the intro mission. Just blue
Yeah.
screened instantly.
One day I'll try to finish it. I have a fucking 3080 though, so I got my
Shit,
money
what
up.
the fuck? You sold a
I got my
kidney for
money
that
up.
shit?
Nah, dude, it's called when companies fuck up so bad you take 40 grand from them.
Winning?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Homie just robbed like a bank and he was like,
40
nah, you fucked
grand?
up. You fucked up.
No, in reality, I am mentally scarred from that moment. I actually got fucking diagnosed with PTSD, but I ain't no bitch. So
I think I think
Okay.
Dying Light 2 was very good. I think it was definitely a 7.5 out of 10. God, I
it's a
sound like
pretty-
Randy Pitchford here.
Pretty average game. But yeah.
average, I disagree. It is, considering that it's a sequel, it just did not live up to its predecessor in the fucking slightest. It's like if you know that your girl gives really good head, but instead she just bites your balls.
But hold on a minute. Oh my god.
Okay.
I disagree
Okay.
with you
Interesting
hardcore.
comparison.
Biting the
Interesting
balls is the best part.
You're out of your mind.
Oh, and I also disagree with you on the Dying Light 2 part. I think they improved literally on every part of the gameplay.
In what fucking way? The whole appeal was, oh wow, goofy fucking ragdolls, holy shit, that's so fun. And then they lock you in animations that look like piss ass and say, yeah, this is the game now. Deal
I
with
think
it.
you're
No
playing
frames.
the game wrong here because
I think you're an
I
idiot.
spent 30 hours in that game just drop kicking fucking zombies out of a building.
That's drop kicking. Have you played Dying Light 1 and just went up to a zombie and just started stabbing the shit out of it? Because they fucking flop over like a soft dick.
And Dying
okay?
Light 2 doesn't?
No, they're locked in anime. All the animations are fucking locked and it looks like shit.
No, true. They do have a stagger animation. That's true. That's very true.
Yeah,
It
but
looks like donkey shit.
just playing a slightly different style, kind of play like
It's not. No, that's
they're
not.
trying
I
to
get it.
incentivize you to use the environment more than just your M1 mouse mashing like a fucking
No,
idiot.
fuck the environment. I want to make a motherfucker turn into a rag doll. I
And
don't
you
care about the environment.
Have you seen the
No.
cool fucking explosions of that shit? Fucking body
Dog,
parts flying
dog,
everywhere?
Dog. You're not listening to me. You're not listening. Okay, so let's take the beginning of Dying Light 2, right?
At
And
the
you have
beginning is
melee
horse
weapons. So you have melee weapons that in which when you swing, it locks you into an animation that moves you the same way. The enemies move the same way every fucking time. There's no variation of it. You have a bat, they go flying. Cool. It's kind of quirky the first time you see it, but it gets old because it's going to be the same thing for the next 60 fucking hours. That's not cool to me, man.
I really don't agree with you there. I think I think people.
I do agree with the fact that there are locked animations. They
Yes,
are like
yes,
very
there
samey.
are.
Yes, exactly. But
I agree with that
doesn't-
too.
does
but-
that make it a bad game? Not necessarily. Does it make
It
it,
makes-
worse than its predecessor? I don't know. I haven't played it.
It's not just that point that makes it worse. One, it's just fucking boring. I gotta be honest. That city, once I got to the fucking city, I was bored. I stopped playing the
I
game.
liked the city, bro. I liked like the
I liked-
verticality.
Yeah,
of it,
me too.
personally.
Me too.
I liked the like
I-
heightened verticality, but
I just do not. I couldn't find the fun anymore. I found the funny. I couldn't find the fun.
once
I
you get
thought the game
wingsuit,
was
bro,
very.
you're vibing.
Yeah, I got the parachute, the wingsuit. I got pretty damn decently far in that shit, but I got bored. I was bored.
I'm with Zanny here. I think they improved everywhere on the gameplay except the staggering
Whoa,
part.
not
I agree.
everywhere. I wouldn't say
Definitely
everywhere.
not everywhere.
Definitely not everywhere. But most of the parts of the gameplay are much better for me in relation to Dying Light 1. I think there's way more verticality. I think their parkour system was definitely improved in relation to the first one. Because the first one was cool because it was a novelty, because you don't have parkour games outside of Mirror's Edge. In the video game landscape in first person, so it was kind of a novelty, but they took that novelty and they improved it. So I think scenarios are much better, are much wider, are much vertical. They give you a lot of tools to account for that verticality. The combat might be hit or miss. I guess it missed for you.
I also didn't like the chase sequences. I feel like they were way
Same.
more intense,
In
and
the
they
first
had a lot more weight in the first game. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Same.
I was very disappointed with those. Like, because even I heard a lot of good shit about that, and I was like, oh boy, I can't wait to see how cool this is. And then in Dying Light 2, I was like, what the fuck?
This is dog shit, monkey cock.
Yeah, this is ass, bro. I also didn't like the fact that, like, when I played it, I think they might have updated this, but you couldn't find like the special infected outside anymore. You would have to be in a chase to fight like what are they called, volatiles.
Yeah.
You would have to be in a chase, so the night was really toned down. I feel like.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
That's definitely
and another big point of criticism here is also their AI. My God,
the AI is ass, honestly,
dude.
Retarded AI.
Oh my
Even like
God.
the humans, zombies. Like, okay, I get it. Maybe, you know.
Evil was funny beating the shit out of them though.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it makes your average flat earther look like fucking Einstein, though.
Yeah, they're very boring. Very boring.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
the game just did not tingle my pingle. You know what I'm saying?
But that's but at least there's a point of discussion on Dying Light 2, right? I think it's very hard to find someone who is in Halo Infinite's side when it comes to when it's released. And why is that? I think
there's nothing there. Do you want to spend money on a game that you can't fucking play? Hell fucking no.
You can play it, but you're going to be bored of it after a while.
That's just the problem. That's the problem. You got to understand this. If I were to invest, because I fucking Game Pass that game, right? Just like most people, right?
Like most intelligent creatures.
Imagine you spend $60 fucking dollars, right? To play a game where you can't even pick what game modes you want. That was standard to every other fucking Halo game, right? There's barely anything. Half the guns suck ass. Because I'm going to be honest, half the guns in the.
Let me stop you right there.
What? Let's hear it.
Halo 1 through 5, sorry. Including the spin-offs. The entire point of the game was your guns suck at the very beginning. You try to find a better weapon.
But even with the better weapons, they kind of fucking suck though. Like half the weapons in the game just weren't good. That's not. I'm not saying that there aren't good guns in Halo. It's just that the ones that are supposed to be better also just fucking suck. Let me be honest, shotgun kind of dog shit. I don't like it. It's a shotgun. A shotgun is supposed to feel
or in general.
In Infinite.
Gotcha.
If I'm using a shotgun, I'm expecting to blow someone's sphincter out of their stomach. You know,
you never do that in any Halo. Halos are very
yes. From I'd say Halo 2 onward, the shotgun has always been immensely powerful.
Yes, it's been immensely powerful, but situational. Very situational because
you're not going to be able to cross map somebody with it, obviously. But
obviously,
in terms of like,
but in terms of range, compared to most other shotguns in other games, the range in Halo, in general, is very wildly known to be "I'm French kissing you" range instead of just like it's a table or two worth of a range here, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go back. I mean, I'd have to compare it to other. I mean,
I literally did it a couple of days ago.
I think I would agree with you on that, but I mean, there's a certain utility with all the respective power weapons.
Counters
right? So
counters
shotgun,
the energy swords. It counters the
exactly.
Yeah, I know, and I agree. I think the Halo shotgun in Infinite is kind of dog shit. I agree with you, Milkman. But saying that you could blow the brains out of someone, yes, you could. But at that point, you'd be having a dick of a range between you and the opponent to do that. The shotguns were always good.
The reason why I'm saying blowing their sphincter out of their stomach is because I'm in close range. It should be one tapping if I'm fucking point blank. If I'm putting a barrel to somebody's fucking head, the head's coming off. I don't have to shoot you 2-3 times to kill you.
But for the sake of argument in here, because we've always been comparing the indie games we play to multiplayer-specific games, and most indie games that are successful are single-player. So why don't we change the comparisons to our second favorite punch bag, Gotham Knights? Who wants to say something about Gotham Knights?
If Ryan was here, this would be the longest argument of all fucking time.
True. I don't know, man. Everyone I've seen, because I've talked to him about this in DMs. Everyone I've seen has said the game is dog shit, and Ryan was like, "And I played this game for 6 hours straight, super fun." It's like, what the fuck are you smoking, bro?
What the fuck is he smoking? Indeed, is weed
Ryan just
legal
wants
in
to be
his country?
Batman.
Maybe crack cocaine.
He just wants to be Batman.
He
Brian is
does.
just
Oh my
schizophrenic.
god.
He's just schizophrenic.
That's
bro.
honestly
Not gonna
so
lie.
fucking. That's honestly so fucking.
Yeah, he's already playing like the Batman on his streams half the time. You know, when people ask him to do the funny voice.
You know, I don't blame him for having goals. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think, man, sometimes you gotta pick your battles. It's like I gotta
Batman,
say,
yeah, it's
like
tough.
personally, I have my own goals. I have the desire to be the most racist motherfucker on the planet and not get in trouble for it.
And
But
there
I'm
goes
not
our
gonna go
future
around.
sponsorships.
I'm not gonna go around and parade around like I'm a big fan of other races. I'm racist in the sense that it's funny, not in the sense that it's mean. You know?
Okay, let's try not to defend racism here. Okay, we
If-
really don't want to get Team YouTube.
Legally, I am joking.
Legally, I
Fucking hell.
But illegally, I
I'm
mean, we're
capping.
talking about
Legally, I'm
illegal.
capping, guys. I'm capping.
legally I'm face palming right now. But Gotham Knights. I think I should start with kind of giving context to everyone, including the people watching this, for the ones that don't know. The very first big major piece of controversy came when someone on Discord from Rocksteady pointed out that Gotham Knights was going to be locked at 30 FPSs on consoles. And the excuse they gave was game is way too taxing, and co-op makes things even more taxing, and boo boo da da, we're fucking babies and we can't take an L. That's basically what happened, because
Graphics so good.
yeah, their argument gets completely blown out of proportions when you literally put Arkham Knights, a game that came out 8 years ago, versus Arkham Knights versus Gotham Knights. Fuck, the names are so confusing. You do Arkham Knight versus Gotham Knights, and the visual fidelity of Arkham Knights 8 years ago on a console that is basically the equivalent of every modern phone right now just blows it out of the park. Not even a kind of close comparison. We're talking aesthetics wise. We're talking visually. The visual density of things. We're talking fucking sea levels, water details, texture details, anything, animations, character detail, everything blows it out of the park in comparison to Gotham Knights. And it's not just Arkham Knights too. You can go even farther. Arkham City has such a much livelier, a much broader city than whatever Gotham Knight is. I don't know who said this, but someone said this in their review that I watched, which was, if you get someone randomly in the streets and show them a picture of Arkham Knights, the game from 8 years ago, and ask what city this is, without the Batman obviously, they will probably say it's Gotham City. If you show the Gotham Knights picture of Gotham City, they'll have to think about it before saying it's Gotham City, because it kind of feels vanilla as fuck on a game.
If they can even tell it's Gotham.
If they can even tell it's Gotham. So, outside of poor excuses like the ones that Rocksteady developers said, what do you guys think was the major reasoning as to why the 30 FPSs exist?
They don't know how to properly optimize a video game.
Yeah.
There we go. That's the correct answer. Nice. 10 points.
Personally, I just think a lot of it is attributed to Warner Brothers and the type of shit that they run, because they run a shit show, They
Warner Bros. Always
continuously
has
make
run a shit
bad
show.
fucking decisions. I don't know what the fuck happened to them. I don't know who got in their ass to make them want to do that, but they do.
In the game, And this is what I think is very funny. I have a theory that Gotham Knights was actually supposed to be the Marvel Avengers of DC, but successful.
I agree.
Probably should have been. Probably.
Because in the game, there's 8 types of currency, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
Oh my!
8 types of currency.
8, bro.
8
That's-
is fucking insane.
That is Diablo Immortal levels of currency right there.
And I
8
think
is fucking insane.
I think they were trying to make this a live service game, but then they saw how Marvel's Avengers basically crashed right into the ground from the very beginning, and they were like, "Oopsie, maybe we don't want to do this. Let's make a single player game, huh? Okay, let's do it." And they kind of had to scrap everything up to kind of make this single player experience that doesn't really feel like a single player experience. I read in the game, in most reviews, that in order for you to unlock a faster method of traveling from point A to point B, so for example, in Batgirl you kind of have the gliding cape, and I think in Robin's case, you have kind of this Red Robin's case, you kind of have this double, triple, quadruple jumping mechanism. I don't remember properly.
That's Red Hood.
Red Hood, yeah, Red Hood. You
Same
have
thing,
to
same thing.
unlock them all individually, and they all take the same exact types of missions to unlock. So if I'm playing as Batgirl and I want to change to Red Robin, the progression is the same, but in order for me to unlock the faster method of traveling, I still have to go to the same exact fucking copy and paste missions on the map and unlock them by doing 10 of those. And from what I've seen, it's super repetitive. It's going here.
That sounds really boring. Yeah.
Yeah. And imagine wasting around, on average, 120 minutes, okay, 2 hours of your time for each individual character, which, might I remind you, there's 4 characters.
Damn, bro, that sounds like Destiny.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally Destiny, bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
It's,
Replaying that fucking campaign 3 times makes me suicidal every time.
but that's a feeling across even every single player game. Everyone fucking complained about Cyberpunk exactly because of that. Because it felt like a chore to play from time to time. Because you're kind of doing the same things over and over again. Go to point A.
Yeah, but I can have sex in Cyberpunk. I have sex in Destiny.
You can't, bro.
I mean, it depends on what you consider sex.
I'd be fucking the shit out of Eris. I'm just saying. I like freaky bitches.
He likes bitches that will actually kill him in his sleep.
This is true.
That's a statement.
Would you say that in around 5 years, would you say that indie games are going to start slowly overtaking AAA games in
No, I
terms
feel like
of
they already are.
sales? In terms of sales,
Sales, maybe, but I feel like a lot of indie developers might get caught up by just big developers throwing like a fucking assload of cash at them and being like, "Join us, bro."
I
You know?
agree.
So they might sell their soul
Yeah, I think it'll
for
be
a
a
quick
cycle.
buck, but then they'll get funked essentially.
what do you
the big
mean by
company.
a cycle, Mana?
So let's say, for example, you have a bunch of disgruntled devs from like I'm trying to think of a good example. But let's say hypothetically, well, I'm trying to think of it. But anyway,
Electronic
you have-
Arts.
yeah. So like, let's say you have a couple of devs from EA, and they're really disgruntled with how things are progressing. They're kind of locked in place. They can't really do a whole lot within their confines of their position. So they all, there's probably 4 or 5 of them that kind of are in a group.
So-
They're friends, and they say, "Hey, one of them has this kind of side project thing," and they start off their own thing, and then pretty soon that little small indie project has kind of picked up traction, and they start networking with other people that they know, and pretty soon there's a lot of drive being pushed behind this indie project, right? And it does super well. It sells, considerably well on Steam. And then they get an offer from, say, let's say Microsoft, right? Microsoft comes along and they says, "Hey, we'll buy you out for X amount so that we can be your publisher essentially. And I think a lot of people in that situation are going to accept that, take offers like that.
100%.
So
got
you
eat,
just
man.
get kind of this cycle
True.
of so you get the cycle of people leaving AAA companies to go do an indie side project thing where it gets picked up, and then it keeps
New
repeating.
people, yeah.
But you're always going to have competitors like New Blood, which were from the very start not AAA, sorry, indie game companies through and through. I was kind of more talking about those people, those independent workers that
Yes.
turn indie gamers. Your Hyper Strange, your New Bloods.
I wouldn't say that New Blood is even like the front runner when it comes to just like mainly indie games type of shit,
Yeah. I agree.
What's the company behind Hotline Miami and stuff?
Devolver Digital.
Yeah,
is the publisher.
Devolver. I
love
think has to
Devolver,
be.
dude.
Devolver has to be like the top dog when it comes to making
Devolver
like
is the best
goated,
thing that has ever
goated
happened.
fucking indie games.
I would definitely put New Blood right behind Devolver.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, but that's
100%.
because within this small circle of people, New Blood is almost like a god to us.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I can personally speak. Fucking Dusk made me erect.
Dude, same.
It literally cured my
I listen to
erection
the music
issues.
from Dusk all the fucking time.
I gave Dusk like a 7 out of 10, bro.
Yeah,
You
fuck
know?
you,
You're a
don't
bitch.
count.
I'm gonna fucking
You're out
kill
of
you.
the
I'm
circuit.
coming to Belgium right now.
I already. I'll email you the plot to kill him. Don't worry about it. But every
KJ was
single.
personally offended when I told him that.
I really fucking was though.
I'm
no
offended.
joke.
Why the fuck would you say that?
Yeah, that's
7 out of 10. 7 cultists out of 10.
You're a bitch.
You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
0 bitches out of 1.
Gloomwood was worse, I think.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. Like,
I
I don't
played-
like Gloomwood. I don't like Gloomwood as much as Dusk, but Gloomwood is fucking amazing. You can eat
I
cock.
played
But
the
Dusk is
demo.
a finished product. Don't worry.
I played
don't worry
I
about
played
that. Bookman.
the demo for Gloomwood for like a Nexus video, and it's the only demo that it's the only game that I removed from my wish list after having played the demo.
That's your fault. I didn't like the Gloomwood demo either. I'll be honest. I was playing it, and I'll be real. I do not like games with 0 direction. I like Warframe was a big problem for me when I first started because I was like, "What the fuck am I doing? Like, what? I'm just doing shit to be doing shit." And that's kind of how I felt in Gloomwood. But then I played the actual EA early access fucking version, and I was like, "Oh, this is fucking fantastic! Look at all the nuances. Look at all the depth and just the little things I can do." Like little shit goes a long way. We were talking about my dick earlier, and that's an example. And it just I feel like it works. I feel like it works very well, and I'm really excited to see what else fucking Dylan Rogers puts out for Gloomwood because it was fucking fire.
Zani, what's your home address? Just out of the loop.
You were saying?
13 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Sorry, people just fucking knock at my door for no reason at 11 p.m.
Ah, yeah.
It's
me.
It's all the Gloomwood fans. It's the Dusk fans
Yeah,
coming to beat your ass.
It's Cameron at my door.
It's an apocalypse down there.
It's David Szymanski himself.
Fucking genius, that guy. That guy is a fucking genius. But back to the topic, right? I feel like Devolver Digital is exactly the perfect example when it comes to having just an amazing community. Like if Devolver Digital decides to fart, everyone's gonna clap for that fart.
I'm gonna smell that shit right out the asshole.
Yeah, they're gonna fucking buy gamer jars next day because
Scoop it up.
they have a proven track record. Even though they can almost be considered a AAA company, but not really yet. More like a AA, but
They definitely act like a AAA company.
Yes,
but they still publish like only AA.
But what I was trying to get at is they act like a AAA company without the corporation part, Because if you go play any Devolver Digital game that they released in the past 5 years, every single game can be deemed a indie game.
Masterpiece.
but
Not every. Not
ma-
every.
Not
but
every.
almost like a masterpiece, still like a very enjoyable game nonetheless. Even if it's not your type of game, you're gonna look at that game and be like, I understand why people like it. Fall Guys was never really a thing for me. I never really was an enjoyer of Fall Guys, but
Me neither.
it's
Battle
hella
Royale.
fun. It's actually hella fun. I played a couple games and I was like, yeah, I can definitely see why people enjoy this because it doesn't feel like it's trying to suck you dry.
Hmm.
You know,
Shit, I need a game that's gonna suck me dry. My fault.
and
I can hook you up.
I think AAA companies more and more are digivolving from this company that's trying to give a quality product to how much can we squeeze of every single individual here, and that's
I agree.
what I think is the core issue. One more thing I want to ask Lance in specific. Okay, and I'm gonna ask this to every single other member here. What would you say is going to be the video game landscape in 5 years, Lance? Based on everything we spoke so far. Kind of to wrap things up here because we're already at an hour.
So this is including indie games, AAA games, like
Yes.
that kind of thing. What is going to dominate the gaming space in 5 years?
Yes.
I think it's gonna be a healthy mix. If I had to say anything, I think it's gonna. I don't think AAA games are going anywhere anytime soon. But I think indie games, people are starting to realize their full potential, and I definitely think that they're growing. So it could be maybe even like a 60-40 split. But indie games aren't going, or AAA games aren't going anywhere, and indie games are definitely getting more. That's what I think.
What about you, Man?
I mean, I'd kind of go down that same route. I think a lot of it's going to be. I mean, you'll still have your Sonys where they'll put out their first party exclusives. They're going to be around $60. You'll have your Call of Duties where they'll sell it for $70. I mean, you'll still have all those titles and everything, but I think predominantly the AAA gaming landscape is going to shift towards basically free-to-play games as a live service model, because you already have it with Game Pass and all these different subscription services that are set up to kind of draw people in with a really low entry barrier. I think it's like Game Pass is like $10 a month or something like that.
You can get $5 for 3 months. If you get like a ultimate like a first like buyer thing, I think. And if you quit your trial for a month, you can come back after a month and be like, "No, we miss you. Here's 3 months for $5 again."
Yeah, that's
you just
insane.
keep spamming it.
Yeah, literally. That's all you do. You just cancel for 1 month.
fucking
You
insane.
cancel for 1 month, and then you just play for 3 months. Easy.
But yeah,
robbery.
I think the AAA gaming landscape will kind of be predominantly made of that model. I mean, there will be the exceptions, but ultimately, I think in terms of the indie space, I think indie games will kind of draw more of player interest. I don't know if they'll necessarily outsell AAA games, just because games as a live service model is incredibly lucrative, despite
Not
how
really.
often people complain about it.
Not really.
Oh.
Okay, give me an example.
Oh man, dude, the amount of money that EA makes from like FIFA Ultimate and Madden.
Yeah. But they're
is
already
legit.
established properties. That's what I was going to say here. But
that's what I'm saying. The AAA gaming landscape.
No.
They're all established properties.
Yeah, but they're all already established. I had this discussion with a friend of mine a couple of days ago. If you notice, every single live service game that wears that on its sleeves has already been established prior to like 2-3 years ago. Your Destiny 2. I think it has 5+ years of content by now. Your FIFA, a long-running series that has been ran to the ground, but it still has its hardcore fans. Your Call of Duty, ever since Call of Duty 4, something like this has been happening. Every single property that tries to get into this specific landscape is already at a huge disadvantage because of the years and years and years of content that those live service games have. For example, a perfect example I have is the First Descendant. There was a beta of the First Descendant. I don't even know if it's still up.
It's not up anymore.
Yeah, but I tried the
No.
game and I was like, yeah, but. And the big but I had was there's already years and years of performance improvements from Destiny 2, years and years of content from Destiny 2, and the world feels way more fleshed out than this. Would I be able to provide this an opportunity as opposed to spending my time in Destiny 2, which I don't? But if I was playing Destiny 2, would I do it? My answer is definitely no. Why would I? Because every live service game from now and for a few years, I'm thinking there's not going to be any live service that's going to be big, in my opinion.
Well, see, but I think I think you're not picking up on something. What I mean, you kind of did to an extent. So the issue is with a lot of these games, like particularly, we'll use FIFA Ultimate for example, right? Like a majority, I'd say a vast majority of gamers are aware of how predatory the monetization behind Ultimate Team is, but you're still it doesn't matter because you're always going to have a dedicated sect of people who will pay in what I'm kind of ignorant on the current pricing of it, but let's say they it's $5 for each person that does it or whatever, right? The point is, even if you're not gaining a shit ton of people into that business model,
You're still
the fact of the
retaining
matter is because you're still regenerating profit. That profit isn't going to die, as opposed to, and when I say die, I mean it's recurring. Whereas, let's say like Doom Eternal, for example, that game sold insane copies. It made shit ton of money, but at a certain point, the profit margin for that game drops off. Whereas in a game for a live service model, it's constantly recurring. So that's why EA and Microsoft now to a little bit and Bungie, they all are really pushing games as a live service model because they know, yeah, we might not be able to draw in a shit ton of people with this business model, but it will be recurring profits. It'll be steady, steady for years to come.
But my point is just that that live service space is already way too filled, and if you're trying to bring a new IP to the mix, it's just not going to work. That's what I'm trying to get at. Yes, your Call of Duty is still going to be relevant, and is still going to literally print money out of their asshole.
I mean, if
in
they
5
want to
years.
enter, if they want to enter live service, but they don't have an established brand, I have one word for you: mobile.
Get
Literally,
fucked.
just go to mobile gaming.
Fuck
Just
mobile.
make a mobile game.
Fuck
Seriously,
mobile gaming.
mobile gaming is so fucking lucrative and so easy to make like $1 billion. It's ridiculous.
But that's
Remember,
until
there was a
regulation starts
story. There was a
kicking
news
in.
story about that one guy. Fuck They don't give a shit about regulation. They wasn't there a story that came out about a guy who spent $30,000 on an anime mobile game?
Bro.
Like $30,000
Pick
on an
Pick a story because
what?
pick one because there's
pick pick a
hundreds
story.
of those
I mean,
stories. Yeah,
it's
but
it's so easy to just farm. Literally, you're just farming money with mobile
Yeah,
games.
I agree. It
people are
definitely
thinking-
Infinite money
needs
tree.
it definitely needs regulation, and until our
No one gives a
I
fuck.
really don't want to bring
no,
politics
no
into
company or country gives a fuck.
this. But
you know?
until the
I mean,
government,
except Belgium, we banned all of it.
but until the government gets rid of
True.
the boomers that are kind of governing everyone and
Mhm.
starts realizing that gaming is this big and needs regulations,
Mhm.
that's never ever going to change. That goes for a lot of problems, but we're not a politics fucking YouTube channel.
We can get Hassan on the show.
Yeah, Hassan, if you want to, it's you have-
Hassan Piker, I'm gonna find you.
But the people that are on the government and the
stalking
people that
people.
can create
I
those types
heckin'
of rules, the people that create those types of rules, they don't have any idea that X mobile game does literally more digits than probably that entire country combined and Portugal combined. Because it's something that kind of keeps in between the walls of the gaming community and just the gaming community. But
True, bro.
until
Raid Shadow probably has a fucking higher turnover rate than like
Fucking
half of Europe's GBP. It's like holy shit,
for
bro.
real,
Unlucky.
though. But for real, and
I know, it's
local
so
governments
sad.
don't understand that, and until they start understanding that, how they make the money, how predatory all of this, how manipulative a lot of mobile games are.
100%. I watched like a video that was in my watch later for like 2 fucking months. It was something about like Diablo Immortal by Josh Strife Hayes. It was a super
Oh, yeah, I
fucking
love
well
him.
written video.
Mhm.
Really well made video. It had
Yeah.
like 10 million views or some
Love that
ridiculous
guy.
fucking amount like shit.
We
And
should
he
try
was
and
like,
make him.
here's a like they give you like a free bundle every like day or something, but
Mhm.
they intentionally put it in like the paid store. So every time you go there, you get like bombarded with these like free with these like little small like bundles that are like $1, $5. So they know that for a certain amount of people, for like a percentage of time, it'll only take them going to that store like 5 times or 10 times to claim that free bundle before going, maybe I will spend some money. And that's when they fucking get you, you know?
Hey, Josh, this is a public call out. Come to our fucking podcasts.
He's not gonna notice this, bro. What the fuck?
Do it. No balls. Do it,
This
Josh.
this is a rebranded channel. The only original host is fucking Xaniverse. So
Do it. No balls.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
No
about that one,
balls.
Chief. I don't know about that one.
Someone fucking clip it, send it to him.
Clip it
quickly,
and ship it, boys.
send it
Come
to
on. Let's keep going. Let's go with the original question. What do you
Keep
think?
going, or are we gonna close out here?
Yeah.
We're over
1
an
hour and
hour
50.
in.
Yeah.
It's fine.
yeah.
Cosmic episodes were 2 hours at
It's
some point.
fine.
Let's go with you, Milkman. What do you think the video game landscape is going to look like in the next 5 years, both on indie
Oh,
and on AAA?
we're gonna see a lot more single player games. I think that people are gearing more towards single player games more now, and they're gonna want to see it more because of the oversaturation of multiplayer games from like 2016 to like now. I feel like a lot of people are tired of battle royales. I was tired of battle royales fucking years
Yep.
ago.
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Unless they do something fresh, no one's really gonna give a shit. I think a lot of people miss movement shooters,
In
myself
counter to
included.
that, everyone's fucking begging their assholes for Halo Infinite to release a battle royale.
Lol.
But
I
it's
don't know
true.
who everyone is.
Jesus.
I guess
No,
there is
no, no,
someone
no,
I haven't heard of.
No.
I've never heard that.
Countless YouTube channels, because you're not really into the Halo community, Lens, but countless YouTuber channels that are dedicated to Halo are talking and fucking sucking 343's dick, waiting for the day they get a battle royale. I'm not even kidding. I can PM you after the podcast. Countless people talking about it. No joke.
I'm curious how much of that is them actually wanting a BR and how much of it is just wanting content in general. I wonder what the ratio for that is.
I wonder what the ratio between
Definitely sounds like a mob mentality type deal.
Yes,
Like, people really
yes.
want another fucking battle
my
royale,
man,
or is
my
it just
man.
their favorite content creators are creating the mob
Yes,
mentality? Of,
that's where I was gonna go. Once.
battle royale.
That's where I was
Yeah.
gonna go. I think most of the quote unquote hype behind the Halo Infinite Battle Royale stems from wanting a battle royale. Obviously, stems from Dr. Disrespect talking about it, and then Nick Merckx, and then YouTubers that cover news in relation to battle royales, or start
Whoa,
talking.
guys.
Oh, I want a battle royale.
Famous internet man said it must be good.
Yeah,
Must be
exactly.
true.
I'm not a
Must be good.
sheep. I'm not a
That's-
sheep.
that's
I
exactly
promise.
what I
promise,
want.
guys.
I'm not a sheep. I get all my opinions from Reddit.
But I definitely agree with you, Milkman. I think battle royales are so fucking saturated. I think almost every multiplayer game. I would like to see a renaissance period of co-op games.
I would too. I think people are looking. I think a lot of people are looking for things that are giving them an actual experience that's different. I think everyone's been playing the same fucking game. I'm not gonna knock Fortnite because I think Fortnite has done some pretty dope shit. when it comes to really revamping a VR because their constant inclusion and changes of their content. But like when it comes to shit like Warzone or even fucking Apex, it's like give me something else. Like I understand like the entire point is you go in, you fight, you die, you win, whatever. Do it again. But I think a lot of people are getting fucking tired of that. People are tired of doing the same shit over, myself included. So I don't play battle royales anymore. Shit is fucking lame. Um, I tend to gravitate towards things that have a lot of tech. Like I love shit with movement, especially. And someone who brought up the first ascendant, last ascendant, whatever, piss ass. I think that game is only gonna see some real success if they do something different. And
No,
I
it's
think
made-
what they need to do is put some fucking movement in it.
It's
I genuinely do.
it's made by Nexon Studios, so it's definitely not gonna have anything original to it. Nexon never did an original property. They always fucking just copy and paste it with a different skin.
Did they make the Counter-Strike Nexon Zombies game? Or was that not them?
Correct.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
They also did Combat Arms, if you don't know what that
Fever
is.
dream game, bro. Literal fever dream game.
Like if we're talking top 5 companies I absolutely despise, Nexon is amongst the top 3 for sure.
I was looking at that game a few years back, and I was like, no way that this is licensed, bro. This has to be like a fucking asset flip. But no, it was Valve like sanctioned. They were like, yeah, this is good. It's like, what
Because
the fuck are you guys
need
doing?
some sort of a Counter-Strike game over in the Asian servers. I think that's the story behind it, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless,
CS is really like
like
not outlawed, but like hard to access in Asia.
let's talk with Zani now. What's your opinion on the next 5 years of gaming?
Hold on, I'm starting to get a little interested on this dynamic. All right, who is the host? Is Zanny the host or is KJ the host?
No idea.
We are
KJ
all
just hijacked the
KJ
show.
has led this entire KJ has led this entire thing
I'm
like a
sorry.
fucking Chad.
I'm sorry. I'm so used to
No, dude,
moderating fucking podcasts, dude.
Maybe we switch hosts every episode. I think that'd be
I
interesting.
just cannot stand. Okay,
Dude,
I'm
yeah.
gonna complain. Okay, I just cannot stand
No, you don't
silence in a
It's fucking
podcast.
awesome. You were absolute fucking. No, you're absolutely leading this shit.
I'm
But
sorry. I don't
we might
even
have to
realize.
rediscuss the host dynamic.
I don't even realize it. I swear.
Motherfucker came up to me and was like, look at me, I am the captain now.
Listen, I did
Yeah,
3
I can't
failures
bend
of
you
a
over, man.
podcast, right? And those 3
Petrified
podcasts.
if this one counts like shipwrecking as well.
because-
Absolutely terrified.
But okay. I'm gonna throw some shade already. Gonna sprinkle some salt in here. Okay. 2
We're
of the
throwing some
podcasts I was
shade.
in. All right. I was a part of a podcast called Indie Hub, right? And
India?
Indie Hub.
Yeah, the podcast of India, bro. The
The
official
podcast.
Indian
India.
podcast.
And believe it or not, that podcast, not the podcast, that channel actually had quite a lot of success. You can search it online if you want. Some stuff is still there. The very big problem with the Indie Hub is that our quote unquote boss, I was brought into Indie Hub a couple of years later, was a lazy fuck. A dude that wanted the payoff, but not the work. You see what I'm getting at? Like, he would
for
want big name celebrities in our podcast from the indie world. He wanted the Fez dude to talk. He wanted the Minecraft dude to come into our podcast and do shit. And the interesting part is...
Dream? You want a dream?
No. The actual podcast, the actual Minecraft creator,
Notch?
Notch.
Yo.
Yeah.
Oh, Notch. Oh,
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
he reached out to him and everything. He showed me the email. Regardless, the guy wanted all
Notch was
these...
on a podcast. He would be down, I reckon. If he got enough clowns, you know.
but he wanted everyone, but he
Notch
didn't want to
just
put in the
posts
work
Dank memes on Twitter these days.
for that. So that's why that's where I came in. He recruited me and 2 other people. One of them was never involved into video games. Was barely a gamer to begin with. It was a woman called Lindsay. Blessed be her soul. She's amazing. But she wasn't super understandable of the indie world in specific and how the cogs move in that. So she put him straight into the path, right? She just put us all in a podcast, and it was like, all right, so today we're
What is an indie game?
gonna talk. What are we gonna talk about? Let me see. Today we're gonna talk about the topic of racing games. Why don't we start with you? What is a racing game, kind of Jesus?
Man, I love being a racist.
And it was basically his entire thing. And our team was so fucking furious at this game that I literally got the guy into a Discord corner, and I was like, "My man, this is not fucking working. I beg you, I'll even do the fucking work here. Just let me do it." And the guy was like, "Okay, yeah, sure." No problem. So I started doing it, what I did in this podcast, right? And we started getting a lot of numbers. We started growing up the channel again, because he dropped the channel halfway through. And one day, the guy just comes to me and he's like, I can't this week. I can't this week. I can't this week. I can't this week. And the channel completely fucking died again. And on the next time we tried, again, I was taking helm. I was in charge of the entire team, a team of people that didn't understand what video games even were to begin with. By the time I got control of that team again, and we started uploading without his fucking consent on his own YouTube channel, the channel was already dead. So for twice now, I did a podcast where I had to be in control. I'm not saying that I need to be in control here. Please don't take it like that.
I'm taking it like that.
Vote kicking, vote kicking, vote kicking.
Vote kicking, kind of Jesus.
Vote kicking right now, live on air.
And so I kind of got used to try and strafe things away to the conversations that we need to. But it doesn't need to be me. Please, please, get me out of here.
Please. I can't control it.
Yeah, someone hit him. Someone turned him to like reset to default. Like he just. What?
But
Someone reset him to factory settings.
Well, it's definitely something to talk about later. But let's really close this off.
Dictator Jesus over here.
What's your opinion then, Zanny?
I think I definitely want to. Personally, I'd like to see a massive push in like actually good VR games. Because while there are good VR games right now, half of them definitely are still like fucking Unity asset flips. There's like 5 good VR games, I guess. Like Bone Labs is up there, obviously.
No, don't bring Bone Lab into this conversation.
I will fight you.
That one Blade and Sorcery game. Granted, I haven't played any of these, by the way, because I don't have a VR headset because I don't give a fuck
right now. How are you
talking
about it?
Because
you don't have a VR headset?
I haven't seen a reason to buy a VR headset.
Hey,
that's why I want to see a big push in shit.
Even
and then
I'm gonna have a VR headset.
But I agree
the
with
Half-Life game, obviously, is also pretty fucking good. But like, besides that, why should I spend $300 on a fucking thing that I'll play like 3 times with? You know?
I think that should be the topic to next week. I think all of us are kind of passionate about VR, so we should kind of catapult that to a topic for next week. Or in 2 weeks or whatever we decide to post the podcasts. Because
it should be in 2 weeks when this goes out, regardless. So
I 100% agree
no.
with you. I think there's a lot of
talk about spooky stuff.
Fuck
Halloween,
that.
eat a dick.
3 days.
Eat a dick,
Yeah,
Halloween.
eat a dick.
Yeah,
eat a dick Halloween.
We're
Do you
recording
think this is gonna come out in 3 days? Do you think
Eat a dick Halloween?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, dude, unless you want to fucking murder me with working, I'm gonna take my time doing this.
Wait, are we making you edit it?
Yeah, I'm the one editing this shit.
Hold on, he fucking.
Why are we making?
He fucking like went. Oh yeah, I'll do this.
Yeah. Well, okay, because you said you didn't want to do it.
I said I could, but
no,
I could, but I was most likely busy working on, the hundreds of other videos I want to make.
Exactly, and I said, "Oh man,
plus I have a small little project coming up. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah, I think I do.
No, I haven't noticed any channel activity of yours. Right?
Same. This should be. We should rename to from the night shift to the ex-retired YouTubers.
Retired YouTubers. Whoa, mine
Yeah,
uploaded like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I uploaded like 6
Wait,
months
hold on.
ago.
Fucking
And one.
Milkman didn't. Wait, Cameron, that's
What?
your name. Fuck,
Yes.
I forgot already. You didn't you upload like 3 hours ago?
No, I didn't upload it. I upload on Sundays.
I just got a YouTube notification that you uploaded like
Welcome to
YouTube notes are
YouTube.
fucked, bro.
Mhm.
YouTube notes are fucked.
what?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I uploaded last Sunday, and it was a fucking Valorant video.
Oh my god,
Bruh.
disgusting.
L.
Jesus
L.
Christ.
L.
Can we
Hey,
vote
fuck
kick him
y'all.
instead of me?
Cry.
No, that was a stream from
Look at
last
fucking-
night. That was I was playing Cry of
Okay.
Fear.
Goated game.
Yeah, dude, we were playing Cry
just
of Fear
made this
co-op
video.
last night.
I think this is a pretty good way to kind of wrap this up, no?
Yes, I have to leave soon.
Am I outroing?
Yeah, outro the fuck out of this. Come on.
All right, I don't have a written script for this one, boys. Thank you so much for watching or listening to the first episode of the Night Shift podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did, enjoy listening to our voices. You can listen to more of our voices on our own personal channels, except Lance, because he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Go follow his Twitter. That's about it. Thank you so much for the support.
I'm not even active on Twitter.
I was gonna say, don't post there either.
No,
We
that's
might
a
have-
fake. That's
we
a
might
fake
have-
right there.
We might have some guests. Who knows? Who cares? We're just kind of shooting the shit. Fuck it. You know.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Hopefully. Probably. Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
We'll see what happens. Merry Christmas.